Thank you for the introduction, and let's get into the new year with good news. A new class of councilmen were sworn into the offices this year, such as Tricia Walsh in Fanwood, and Josh Lusardo, Rockway, and Raider News alumni Elizabeth Stamler in Scotch Plains. In addition to swearing in of councilmen, Fanwood said goodbye to borough attorney Dan McCarthy, who stepped down this year to be replaced by Councilman Russ Hugel. Mayor Mahr appointed artist and community organizer Jeff Banks to take Hugel's spot. Banks is well known for bringing together the Rocking for Autism fundraiser with his family. This month I was able to meet with Fanwood's Mayor Colleen Mahr and Scotch Plains Mayor Al Smith to discuss what a successful downtown redevelopment looks like.
Thank you for being on the Raider News.
Thank you.
Mayors. So we are inside of the lovely Fanwood Grill to talk about downtown redevelopment, because Scotch Plains is going to be in the process of downtown redevelopment. And we want to ask someone who's been through the process, Mayor Colleen Mahr, about what Scotch Plains should potentially do in the future regarding redevelopment. So my first question for Mayor Mahr is, what actions Fanwood take to redevelop their downtown areas?
Sure. Well, welcome to Fanwood, the downtown. We're really happy to be here. So Fanwood historically never had a downtown. Prior to the last 15 years, the idea of living downtown didn't exist. But we always had one thing that we knew that we could capitalize, but somehow the community wasn't able to move forward, was with the train station. So when I came into office, my focus was on redeveloping the blocks around the Fanwood train station. And that started with a commitment and a vision, which I think right now, Scotch Plains is well on its way with what the vision is. And that usually is the very first step that a community has to embrace through collaboration, through hiring professionals, and actually getting an idea of what they want to see and where they want to see it. So we spent probably the first 2 or 3 years of when I became the mayor talking about our vision, speaking to the stakeholders, and the stakeholders were the community, they were the merchants, and were the property owners. And they were definitely different. Merchants weren't necessarily property owners. And then we came together with what a look would be. And then the town invested. The town itself had to step up and put its money where its mouth is and actually spend some money with plans and hiring professionals. And that was really the start. And then that also dovetailed with the need that the community wanted to see something here. It was time. When I came into office, there was not a new building in this community in 50 years before I came into office. So the timing was right, and leadership. It takes good leadership.
It takes leadership
to actually move the process along, because there'll be criticisms, there'll be challenges, and having people around you that will be in for the long haul really paid off for us.
So what things did you learn when you were going through the downtown redevelopment process?
That there's a lot of opinions. What did I learn? I learned that it mattered what it looked like. I learned real fast that the key to our success would be if we produced buildings that were architecturally really nice, that we made sure that the standards of the materials used would stand the test of time, and that our planning board was really our first and last line of defense for what it looked like architecturally. And I have to say that when the first building came on, people embraced it, and that really allowed for the second building to come on. And then when we wanted to go from 30 feet to 40 feet, there was an acceptance to do that. So that was probably one of the biggest takeaways, and at all times, speak to the residents. Speak to the residents, hold community meetings, listen to their input, and change. Be flexible.
So what things do you think Scotch Plains in their situation should do regarding the redevelopment process?
Well, I have to say that I'm really impressed with Mayor Smith's leadership and vision. So right off the bat, I think that Scotch Plains is on the right road. I have the vantage point of having grown up in Scotch Plains and now being the mayor here. And I have watched the struggles and the false starts that the town has had in trying to redevelop its downtown. And if Scotch Plains, is able to develop its downtown, it's a benefit for Fanwood. And when Fanwood benefits its downtown, it's a benefit for Scotch Plains. So I really think that the mayor has painstakingly, created a committee made up of stakeholders, worked with the governing bodies, even though elections may bring new people up onto the dais. But first and foremost, be that consistent leader.
Thank you. We tried to do that.
So, is there anything that you guys want to say before we sign off?
Sure, Mayor.
Let me just say that everything that Mayor Mahr has articulated is what we're trying to do in Scotch Plains. It's been 34 years since people started talking about developing the downtown. I ran on redevelopment of the downtown, and then we got involved with affordable housing, which put the whole thing on steroids. But it's clearly outreach to the public. We hold our Scotch Plains Downtown Redevelopment Committee public meeting. It's once a month, the second Wednesday at 7 o'clock. And as much as you try and talk to people, there are still a lot of misconceptions. You need to get out to the people. You need to explain to them. We're expecting our first developer proposals for the public areas in downtown February 1st, and that's going to begin the excitement. And the Downtown Redevelopment Committee is going to be the committee that reviews these and finally makes recommendations to the council. So we're excited. And listen, Mayor Mahr has been at it, 15 years? We've been at it at 2, so don't expect us to be overnight. I mean, I keep pointing out.
You're on the right track.
We're on the right track, and I don't think whether I'm there or somebody else is there, I think we're moving now where Scotch Plains is going to have redeveloped downtown.
Thank you, mayors, for being on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
This month, Scotch Plains faced a giant problem to our mailing system: a wild turkey on Roberts Lane. The turkey was found attacking mailmen, children, and dogs. Many residents of that street were wondering how that turkey even got there, and some were even pointing to the proximity of Rochroom Reservation to that neighborhood. It is important to point out that turkeys are aberrant to that area and have only been living in that area for about 20 to 30 years. From what we're told, the state has recently hired a service to catch the wild turkey on Roberts Lane. More detail to be sought out by the town later. Thank you for having me on the show. David Schulman, Raider News.